heartbreaking news for Robert De Niro. Robert Anthony De Niro was born on August 17, 1943, in New York City. He is widely considered to be one of the best actors of his age and is known for his intense method acting, versatility, and devotion to his craft. Over the course of more than 50 years, De Niro has become one of the most important actors in American history, with many famous parts in movies that will always be remembered in popular culture and the art of film. The fact that he can fully become each character, along with working with famous directors like Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, and Brian De Palma, has won him praise from critics, many awards, and the respect of both audiences and other actors. Robert De Niro was born in Greenwich Village, Manhattan, into a family of artists. It is known that his father, Robert De Niro Sr., was a great abstract expressionist painter, and so was his mother, Virginia Admiral. Even though De Niro's parents got a divorce when he was only 2 years old, they both stayed important in his life and helped shape his early artistic tastes. While De Niro was growing up in New York, he was exposed to the city's rich cultural scene, which no doubt helped him develop his love for playing. When I was a kid, because he was so pale, De Niro was called Bobby Milk by his friends and family. But acting helped him feel better and gave him confidence, so he chose to make it his job. De Niro's formal training started at the prestigious Stella Adler Conservatory in the Actors Studio, where he learned from famous teachers such as Lee Strasberg. Here, De Niro learned the basics of method acting, a style that would become a trademark of his work for the rest of his career. He learned to become totally different from his characters, often changing his appearance and getting lost in the details of the roles he played. He became known for his dedication to reality, which made his work stand out from that of many of his peers. In the beginning of his work, De Niro played small parts in a number of independent and low-budget movies. However, it wasn't until 1973 that he got his big break when he played the lead role in Bang the Drum Slowly. And in this part, De Niro played a baseball player who was dying, and his acting showed how deeply he could feel. Of course, it was his work with Martin Scorsese as a director that made him a real worldwide star. In 1973, De Niro played Johnny Boy in Mean Streets, a gritty crime thriller by Martin Scorsese. It was amazing how he played a young man who was involved in small crimes and was careless and unstable, marking the start of one of the most famous working relationships between actors and directors in movie history. De Niro won his first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in 1974 for his part as young Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part II by Francis Ford Coppola. This event really set the tone for his career because it made him known as a serious actor who could handle difficult parts. Not only was his performance impressive because he was able to channel the quiet strength and seriousness of Marlon Brando's original performance as Vito Corleone, but he also spoke most of his lines in Sicilian, which showed how committed he was to being true to the role. One thing that makes De Niro's work stand out from many of his peers is that he is very dedicated to method acting and will often go to great lengths to prepare for roles. On the other hand, in the 1976 movie Taxi Driver, as Travis Bickle, a mentally ill Vietnam War soldier, De Niro worked as a taxi driver in New York City to get ready for the part. De Niro famously got a license to drive a taxi and spent weeks driving around the city to get a feel for what his character would be like. His famous line, "You talkin' to me?" from his role as Bickle became one of the most famous lines in movie history, and it won him his first Oscar nomination for Best Actor. In 1980, in Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull, De Niro played the troubled fighter Jake LaMotta. For the part, he had to change physically. He worked with LaMotta to get very good at fighting and did a lot of training in the sport. He then put on more than 60 pounds to play the boxer who is older and heavier. Because he worked so hard on the part, De Niro won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his intense and honest performance. A lot of people think this movie is one of the best ever, and De Niro's act as LaMotta is still one of the most praised in movie history. During the 1980s and 1990s, De Niro continued to give strong performances in a wide range of movies such as Goodfellas 1990 as Jimmy Conway and the psychological thriller Cape Fear 1991. in which he played the dangerous ex-convict Max Cady. A mobster navigating the deadly world of organized crime, each of these parts showed how versatile De Niro was, from playing evil and psychopathic bad guys to more complex and introspective, deeply flawed people. It didn't matter how old De Niro got, he kept playing different parts, balancing serious and funny ones. His comedy skills became well known in the 2000s thanks to movies like Meet the Parents 2000, and its follow-ups he played Jack Burns, a former CIA agent who was too protective of his daughter. These parts brought De Niro new fans and showed that he could do well in both serious and funny roles, not just the dramatic ones he was famous for. De Niro has continued to work with Martin Scorsese over the past few years. Their collaboration culminated in the 2019 epic crime film The Irishman, in which De Niro played Frank Sheeran, a hitman for the mob thinking about his life. Many critics called the movie a masterpiece, and it showed once again how amazing De Niro is at playing complicated characters and telling deeply emotional tales. His role in The Irishman won him praise from critics and several nominations for awards, making him even more of an all-time great actor. Aside from being an actor, as a director and co-founder of the Tribeca Film Festival, which he started in 2002 after the September 11 attacks, De Niro has made important marks on the world of film. The festival's goals are to bring life back to Lower Manhattan and honor New York City as a major culture center. De Niro has given independent filmmakers and new talent a place to show their work, which has helped the film business grow and develop. When he was alone, De Niro has been married twice and has 6 kids with both wives. Even though he has talked about how much he loves New York and his Italian-American background, he has been very private about his personal life. De Niro's charitable work goes beyond the movie business. He has supported many good causes and spoken out for political and social problems, using his fame to talk about things like climate change, civil rights, and the need for politicians to be held accountable. Fans, co-workers, and people in the entertainment business are all very sad about the heartbreaking news about Robert De Niro. The famous actor has had a long and successful career, but new revelations show that he has also had many problems in his personal life. Even though De Niro is known for his tough guy roles and his stoic personality, he is actually going through inner emotional battles that are much harder than any of the roles he has played. In the past few years, the actor, who has won 2 Academy Awards for his unforgettable roles, has been through a lot of sad things. The death of loved ones was one of the worst things that could happen. De Niro has always been proud of and comforted by his close family, but the recent death of a family member or close friend is said to have broken his heart. Losing loved ones in this way is very hard on a person, and for De Niro, who is known for keeping his personal life quiet, this sadness has been very hard to handle. Along with losing loved ones, Robert De Niro has had long-term health problems that have gotten worse with age. De Niro is no longer the young, energetic actor who wowed viewers in classics like Taxi Driver and Raging Bull. He is now 81 years old. He is still working in the business, making movies, and working on other tasks. Reports say he has been quietly dealing with health problems that have made it hard for him to keep up the pace he used to have. Even though he has to deal with chronic pain, tiredness, and the normal wear and tear of getting older, De Niro has shown a lot of strength by continuing to follow his dream of becoming an actor. Aside from the mental stress, the famous actor is also having trouble with money. In the past few years, Robert De Niro has been through a public split and several court cases that are said to have cost him a lot of money. He went through a long and often troubled relationship with Grace Hightower, so his breakup with her has been especially hard. There have been fights during the divorce processes over property, money, and who gets to keep the kids. These court problems have not only cost him a lot of money and time, but they have also made him feel very bad, which is making his already terrible feelings even worse. Even with these problems, De Niro has shown that he is strong and committed to his work. He is still admired in Hollywood, and his reputation as one of the greatest actors of all time is safe. The sad news about his personal and professional life, on the other hand, shows that even the most successful and respected people can have problems in their lives.